Lindis being the second ban away for Nova Esports, and the Croth banned away. Pretty safe to say that's a ban against Vex and the strength that he has, as well as his Murad. So Existence not focusing on the big four, but instead focusing down the jungler in Vex.
Okay, we're back in Season 2. This is the epitome of Existence's problems. They're paying the Vex tax, even though Vex has shown he can play multiple other heroes. He can play Dioma, he can play the Quillen, he can play the Violet, he can play the Lindis. Vex has grown so much as a player that this Vex tax doesn't even make sense to me now.
Elsu, the final ban away for Nova Esports. The Florentino as an immediate result, so Existence doesn't put that into their hands, but it leaves open Sephira for Nova, though the Richter is available for Existence if they so choose.
I think Existence need to come into this draft with a very set play style. Focus on the fact that you are good at winning team fights. This Violet's fine if you run it inside lane. I want to see a power farm Violet, maybe a fortress setup, win your team fights, stay mobile enough to do so without getting out macroed. But Nova are going to make that hard.
I actually do want to see a fortress setup, but for the opposite reason. I want to see how Nova tackles it, and you know they have definitely strategies for every sort of lineup that the opponent has to offer.
Ryoma, Liliana locked in for Nova Esports. Two heroes they're certainly capable of doing, and Liliana being put into Poseidon's hands. We talked about some of the other star mid laners in Europe, but Poseidon has been one of the biggest staple points in the European scene from that mid lane.
That does mean Nova are running support Sephira, which is very cool because we've seen Sephira flexed around a bit, and support role Sephira seems to be one of the more popular rotations of the character.
Right, Nova has run Sephira. I believe this is their third time doing so. Only one other team has run Sephira in support, so they're really pushing this sort of meta on the rest of the Nova scene.
Baldum, Raz, locked in for Existence, and now Nova is going to go question mark, Roxy, and Slims.
I think this is Oxy. I think Oxy's going to be on the Slims, and then the Dioma's going to be on... Yeah, I think Dioma's going to be on Vex in the jungle.
I like the idea because that gives you the benefits of the Slims in the sideline, where you're powering up the Slims, they're doing a lot of damage, they're doing a lot of tower damage, but also they're flying spear.
Yeah. That does mean...
When you have a jungle Slims, one of the major problems that they have is they take a little bit longer to farm through the jungle, and the flying spear, which is such a good tool, isn't relevant to the front line of fight because he has to come out of the jungle. So if he's doing his job properly, he's in the jungle and he's not there when you kind of need an initiation stun. But a bot lane Slims fixes those problems.
Just kidding. It is going to be on
none
Vex.
of those things. All right.
No, but Slims is going to go in the jungle, but that also means with the Joker locked in for Existence, that Violet will be on to Blue Triton as well. So for the first time in quite a while, we're going to be seeing double marksman back in the jungle.
There's also a slight switch here with Oxy on the Roxy and Coco on Yoma. Oxy played Roxy in the qualifiers, but this does mean that he's going to be in the Darkslayer lane, almost certainly because that Roxy just loves that lane, and that means Coco's going to be in the Abyssal lane, so they switched those roles here.
I'm not sure I like this jungle marksman from Vex. I was just talking up the side lane marksman because I really did like it. I'm also not sure I like the double marksman out from Existence because they simply don't need it, and they would do better if they stayed and focused on teamfight potential. They actually don't have that much of a front line, so this needs to be a poke split comp, taking individual fights across the map.
But isn't that in a way better to handling the Nova Esports playstyle because they're so team fight oriented?
I think that Nova is the masters of that as well. They're masters of basically everything at this point, but I would say that that is their best chance, speaking of Existence, because they're having two marksmen might throw Nova off just enough that the late game pressure could be too much for them. That said, though, I would say that having Vex on the Slims kind of fits his playstyle because he loves to just farm up as much as possible before getting into the thick of things, and Slims is a hero that needs to be farmed up just like a Murad, just like a Quillen.
Okay. All right, gentlemen. Well, let's figure out exactly what's going to happen. All of you watching at home, it is week 4, day number 1 in the European region. Match 1, the first set between Existence and the top runners of Europe, Nova Esports, begins.
Bamboo will pick up the Raz for the mid lane. He's been a shining star of Existence, even whilst they struggle.
Yeah, I mean, again, we mentioned this earlier, but I feel like every single player in Existence is not bad. They're fine players in their own rights. It's just for some reason, despite being a veteran team, and they have a difficulty playing together as a team, particularly in the macro sense.
Overall team strategy suffers. Nova definitely are poised to exploit that, chasing Clemaire's back behind tower.
Right, and Grizzly Clee was going to be so aggressive on this Sephora. He's able to throw the water spirits out from 800 units away, TJ. That is something that not many supports can say they can do. Well, perhaps other than a Chognar, but we know how I feel about that.
We actually were looking at some Chognar play earlier in some of the other regions. There's very aggressive Chognars that I kind of really dig.
Right, you kind of had to play that way if you are on the Chognar, but we're going to see similar style here from GrizzlyQ because of the fact that he has such long range. Let's see what he can make out of it.
He'll play very aggressive indeed, launching into the enemy jungle. The clear has already been accomplished, so they don't get any jungle stolen away, and they don't stop the farm going out from Blue Triton, who now arrives in the mid lane to get a little bit of gold as well.
We see the rare miscommunication here from Nova, where GrizzlyQ was saying, come on, Poseidon, let's get him. Let's kill him. Let's go. And then it just wasn't there.
Vex misses a flying spear, though. That's kind of my worry. Vex, very good on the melee characters. Season 2, he was kind of forced to play ranged ADCs, and he didn't look the best on them. We saw a solid, if not spectacular, Violet performance from the other week. Now on Slims, we have to see him step up.
Right. I think, again, they're trying to experiment to see if he can do this, if forced to do so, so we'll see how it works out.
Bamboo in from the side, isn't there in time. Vex will pick up the Epistle. Chicketon has low enough HP, Existence just can't compete.
This is exactly what I was talking about, TJ. Existence, they just give it the Abyssal. The rotations weren't there.
Oh, and they'll give up a kill as well, possibly two. Blue Triton has to bail out as they lose their tank in the jungle.
There's no one there, TJ. There's no one there. They give it the Abyssal and they say, okay, well, I guess we're gonna back up and take our own jungle. Oh no, we've lost that as well.
Blue Triton did get the buff, so they traded Chicketon for extra farm on Blue Triton, which actually...
That's a terrible trade.
Yeah, but I like the idea that they're keeping Blue Triton farmed.
They're doing the best they can. The problem is they could have done better if they just had better communication, unfortunately.
And they're losing farm now. Vex able to walk away with a buff. GrizzlyQ will spend the tides of life, ignoring the cat laughter and flickering to safety.
That was perfect. That was absolutely perfect. I was expecting the Tide of Life to come out way sooner, TJ, but he waited and waited. He saw Joker coming. He knew if he used Tide of Life too early, then the Candle Laughter would come in and he would die anyway. He waited for the Candle Laughter to come. He expected it and he let it happen.
Death's Embrace, Poseidon in trouble. He'll be burned down by Bamboo. Existence do have a kill on the board.
Yeah, the first pushback from Existence here.
Vex and GrizzlyQ to hold though, and the water wall stuns up Blue Triton, dropping him down to half HP. Oxy's in alongside Vex. It's a three-man push, and they've got all of Existence scared back. They don't gain any ground.
Oxy unfortunately misses his Agnes Grasp. That could have easily been a kill onto Chicketon, so rare miss by him. He's normally very solid on the Roxy.
GrizzlyQ kept pushing. GrizzlyQ just went into the enemy jungle in the meantime.
Into Sephora, he doesn't carry his Tide of Life. He will go wherever he wants.
The theory here is they get Vex something to eat. Tides of Life has been spent though, so GrizzlyQ could be in danger, and indeed Bamboo will pick him up, flying through the team. Oxy does get a one-man trade, but he'll go down himself. They only get Chicketon. Existence benefit greatly from the fight, but they're losing side lane. Up top, Coco manages to take a tower.
Yeah, through all of that, even though they seem like they got the advantage, it doesn't matter because they're losing the towers. And, you know, TJ, I mentioned it so much. When you get kills, it doesn't matter. It only gives you the gold that you get from killing that hero. If you're not getting advantages on the rest of the map, it's not worth it.
Existence may be able to get an Abyssal Dragon though. Is that a positive trade?
It could be, but GrizzlyQ sniffed it out.
Oh, GrizzlyQ. His nose has told him there's something up, he'll go in. It did go to Existence. Triton was able to snag it.
His Spidey sense? His water sense? Something like that.
I don't actually know if... Look, if you look at Sephiroth's portrait, she's quite obviously smelling for something.
I smell an Abyssal Dragon.
Yeah, and so it is, she's sniffing it out. Oxy will be in trouble. Chicketon is called out by the Wild. Stop! Clavers is there. Existence getting the kills.
Yeah, Nova not looking too comfortable here. It seems like they're trying out this new composition. He saw GrizzlyQ use the Tide of Life, trying to potentially come in and heal, but wasn't there, wasn't in position. And Oxy, he is going down, but he's not going down without being extremely aggressive, cutting the wave.
Yeah, and it was another tower that just went down in the mid lane, meaning Existence do need to improve on that. Roids, though, credit to him. He gets through a gauntlet there, managing to escape behind tower.
I think Nova's going for like a special achievement, right? They win the game while having less kills. So they're going to trade a kill for a tower every single time until they win the game.
Oh, maybe not, though. Oxy Trying to pull Clemairs back underneath the tower. Does accomplish wave clear with a bit of damage onto Clemairs, scaring him quite badly as well.
Yeah, this fight seems to be going to Oxy, except when he overextends into multiple members, so credit to him, he is really blowing out an Omen, which is hard to do, especially when it's Clemairs.
Poseidon and the team now go in. Vex absolutely shredding the towers on that mid-game Slims.
Right, and we've seen very little of Vex, and that's by design. He is farming up like crazy.
While Prison does get Coco, Chicketin able to snag him in. That Nova need to engage to defend him, and they do, stunning up Chicketin twice in a row. They'll get the kill easily.
That is so beautifully done. The stun chain just on point, and Existence is back up.
Clemairs has seen Agni's grasp though, meaning he feels comfortable dueling Oxy.
Is he though?
Within the Death's Embrace. That feeling, though, was not fact.
Yeah, exactly. You felt it. It wasn't actually true, unfortunately. Oh, Noxie's just a beast.
And Poseidon's now come through for backup. Clemairs needs to get out of here. He almost pays for that aggression with his life.
Look at that monster, just being a support. He's just blocking the damage from that power surge. It's like, I got you, Poseidon. I got you.
It felt like Bamboo kind of took it out on the monster, too.
So
I respect that. Blue Triton does still get his farm though, and he's not falling too far behind despite his team overall falling behind. He's almost at 4K, which isn't bad.
Yeah, Blue Triton doing a very good job farming up, and that's what they need to have. They need to have the farm from Blue Triton and from Roids on those marksmen to really just annihilate the side of Nova if they have any chance of coming back here.
Towards the late game, you start to lose offensive power on the Nova side, whereas the Violet, the Joker, will scale into it.
And the reason why Nova is not going for these fights is because they know that they're not actually that great at team fighting per se. They want to go for these towers. It's still 3-4, TJ. They're giving up kills willingly in order to get towers.
Yeah, Nova, always an objective-focused team. This time, though, they seem to have been stymied up for a moment. They're waiting for that Dark Slayer to come up. See what maybe they can grab in the meantime. Oh, that's a good flying spear. Vex does grab it. Chicketin interferes, though. That's a good double wild Prison. Oxy, you've landed the Agni's grasp, but you can't get the kill because the rest of the team's been stalled up by Chicketin.
But Chicketin's been stalled up by death because Nova just take him out. This is hilarious how they just run through the tower. Oxy just skates right on through and knocks everyone back so that they can take out Baldum.
They do get the kill on the Baldum. That Chicketin's heroics almost definitely saved his ally, though. And it did keep the tower up a moment longer. Nova eventually pick it up. Now they'll turn it into a Dark Slayer, though, and go for a game in the high ground tower they've just exposed.
See, the problem here, TJ, is that when Existence gets something, it's always like a bad trade. At least they didn't lose this. At least they didn't lose that. Nova is fine taking little advantages. They're fine just hitting singles and doubles and just getting runs that way. They don't need the home runs, TJ.
Nice baseball analogy.
Yeah, they don't need the big hit. They're fine. They're eventually going to win if they keep getting singles.
They're not playing for a Grand Slam. They're happy to clear the bases first.
Exactly.
Grizzly Q will back up alongside Poseidon as they push forward. Chicketin, there's a wild Prison defensively. If they can clear a wave, they can punish that, but I don't think they can because the wave's still up. Oxy tanks all the damage and the tower itself will fall before him. Grizzly Q takes the front lines now, and it's massive damage coming through from Poseidon. Existence lose Roids, and the Flying Spear almost loses them another member. Drake summoned in the bottom lane. High ground exposed in all three, and they are simultaneously crumbling Daniel.
Top lane
as
as well.
Nova begin to crash forward. Two high grounds gone. Bamboo to full black. Blue Triton's gone. It's 3 kills down. Bamboo needs to save this game, but he can't get the wave clear, and it's game number 1. Over to Nova as soon as they stop trying to grab the kills inside the base.
How many times have we seen this from Nova? It seems like the game is somewhat close. A snap of their fingers and it's over.